Hey there! So today we have another video for Saison Week, even though it's not really Saison Week anymore, but I wanted to dig into a really special one. This is a Jolly Pumpkin and Bomb beer, something I've really been wanting to dig into for minutes. It's been ever since I've had this beer. And, oh, yeah, watch out. So, this is a famous old school American Saison. Definitely one of the influencers of American sour beer. And those roused up real nice, so I got all the chunky chunks, so we didn't really bother with settling this one, so it is what it is. But this is a really special one. So this is Jolly Pumpkin again. This is a farmhouse ale, bottle conditioned. This one's really old, by the way. This is
2017, May 19th, 2017.
This is a 3-year-old bottle. This is absolutely crazy that it just sat on a shelf. It wasn't even like a random liquor store. This was a Total Wine. This absolutely just sat on the shelf on, and actually, we're pretty similar. I have more chunky chunks than you, but we rouse it up really nice. But really exciting beer. They use a house culture on this one. This barrel aged. This is sort of the, evolution of what a lot of brewers have called Saison now. So really interesting stuff. Let's dig into this one. So the beer is obviously old and has a lot of yeast and chunks in it.
Mine doesn't.
It's settled out quite nicely, bottle conditioned, so it is part of the beer. Wonderful fluffy white head. You didn't get much of that, but I guess it pours aggressively for you. Okay. And very much a Saison appearance. Really bottle conditioned crazy, right?
Yeah, I see the chunks.
Oh yeah. So that's what I like. It's bread. That's that fruity fun thing.
Even in the head, you see.
Yeah, the yeast probably yeast and protein.
Chilling on top.
But that's a wonderful bread to me. Mm-hmm. It's I call it sometimes lemon curd. Some people call it musty lemon. It's lemony though, right? What do you get?
I guess I lean more towards the musty lemon. Musty. Yeah,
but there's
aged lemon peel.
Tart.
Yeah.
You got acidity?
Somewhat, yeah. Mm-hmm. My nose is pretty stuffed right now. It's my allergy season.
Floral, slightly yogurty, lemony, slightly funky from that Brett thing, a little bit.
I get the funky Brett thing, and I get aged lemon peel type thing. You're just fluffing your head up even more.
Yeah, just rousing up real good. I can give you another.
No, it's okay.
So you get a taste.
Look at that big old chunk on the side right there.
Somehow a piece has sort of risen up from the.
And just settled in the head.
That's bone dry.
Yeah.
That's bone dry. That drink's like water almost, right?
Mm-hmm. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Wow. What's your initial impression on this one?
My initial? I think the taste definitely exceeds my expectations based on what I could pick up on the aroma. Sure. It's not nearly as sour as I would have guessed. It is rather watery. It's very smooth. Not a super exciting roller coaster ride of a flavor.
No.
But also not disappointing in that aspect. A lot of beers I expect to have a lot of fun flavor, mostly in IPAs. I expect that. But with this, I really do like how it starts and how it finishes kind of very similar. Mm-hmm. There's some fresh peak in the middle there, but overall this is it's a pretty good beer. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have a final impression rating on this one?
Do you want to go with your initial impression?
Sure. My initial impression is that I haven't had this in forever, and the initial impression is wow. This beer is lightly tart at the front, very, very light Berliners / Goses, and it's beautifully dry on the back end. The other impression is that it reminds me a little bit of Hill Farmstead beers. Some of my favorite beers in the world, the Farmstead ales, Anna, Arthur, Florence.
Alexa, stop.
We have an alarm going. And the other thing is that
15-minute timer.
Alexa, stop. The other thing is that I tend to taste the yeast or proteins or something. There's that kind of meaty umami thing that kind of rides. You get a little bit of that on the back end. So that's honestly like by far the biggest detractor of this beer. Otherwise, it's pretty nice. I like the fluffy head and everything, and the mouthfeel and all that good stuff. It's so bone dry. It's aged beautifully. I mean, other than that, the fact. I mean, I wish I just like sat on it a little bit better instead of browsing it up. And
it's only 4.5%.
oh, yeah, it's a tiny beer, but it has such wonderful impression for such a tiny beer, right?
Right. I was actually expecting, just based on the taste, that this was going to be a bit bigger, maybe like a 5 to 6%.
Dangerous 7%.
But this is actually very small at 4.5. This is very drinkable, very crushable, very easy going.
Yeah. So what's your final impression right now?
Pretty much just said it right there. That's about it. Given the percentage on this beer and how rich it tastes compared to its percentage, it's like roughly right around where you would find like Bud Light, I think, right? I don't know.
4.2.
Yeah, right around where you would find Bud Light. However, it packs so much more flavor, so much more intensity on those flavors. I'm not trying to compare the two necessarily because they're completely different styles, but like this just has this drinks like a 6%.
Mm-hmm.
So this is one of those beers that you can drink and you can enjoy and you can convince yourself that you're having something way more, I guess, savory and hard than it actually is. And so that's kind of a nice feature of this. Rating. Not 100% my style. However, I do like it because it's not too like bitter. It's not too like astringent. It's it's actually it's an easy riding beer.
Yeah.
I would say 80. No, let's go with 91 on this one.
Sure. For me, it's quite impressive. Again, it's a 3-year-old bottle and stuff very well. A lot of these beers end up aging very poorly, especially a tiny beer. A tiny beer like this, generally, they don't recommend aging. I find the acidity at a beautiful point. Again, any relevant conversation that you can have with Hill Farmstead is just like absolutely awesome. I like that just a hair of acidity. The Hill Farmstead beers definitely show a lot more acidity, but the fact that there's a little bit of that lactobite in there, the Brett shows that fruity, kind of lemony, kind of tartness to it. The Brett is playing some fruitiness to accentuate the lacto. And then there's a little bit of oak actually in this one. So this is actually oak aged for a little bit. For a tiny beer, it's oak aged. And then it's got a pretty carbonation to it. Again, the tractor is that kind of like yeasty thing that I'm getting. But, as I drink it, as it settled, you see sort of settling something like my
Yeah. Really interesting.
My small sips are trying to avoid that, but it's like a petite Hill Farmstead beer, and that is the biggest compliment a beer like this can get. For a 3-year-old aged bottle, that is absolutely insane. What?
Why do you want to avoid that?
Because ideally it's dead yeast and you're tasting it. And that dead yeast has that umami kind of like autolysis kind of flavor. Okay. So these are yeast cells that have exploded because they've been sitting there forever. And so they've exploded and they're expressing proteins. And generally that flavor is like umami. So like soy sauce and meaty, kind of like yeasty kind of weird flavors.
Well, maybe it's those big gulps of mine that I'm taking them that I am definitely getting that.
Yeah. So I guess bottle conditioning and just like, serve it up right and like very gently pour your bottle. But I think it's done very well. Even that's a testament to a 4.5% beer that's sitting on a warm shelf for 3 years and somehow it tastes absolutely amazing. This is up there for the Saison week beers. I think it's one of the best ones. This one for me, even in this condition, gets a solid 96. Whoa. So it's Bomb Beer from Jolly Pumpkin. Highly recommend it until next time.
Do you want the bottom of this?
Later.